am so happy to be here, to have the members of the parliament, the president of boxing of Azerbaijan, Mr. Muradov and Mr. Haydarov, sitting with us, with my dear good friend, Mr. Rahimov, who is the Minister of Sports of this beautiful country. I cannot express the gratitude in words, Mr. Rahimov, that we have for the way Baku and Azerbaijan has received the WBC and our members in this beautiful country. The president of this country, Mr. Ilham Aliyev, is a great leader. He has found in sports a way to bring the youth to what the world has to be. Just to listen to the kids sing "We Are the World," I think we all felt what we are here for the youth, for the less privileged, and to make this a better world for everybody, and we can do that through boxing. There's a quote from a baseball manager named Tommy Lasorda, and he says in a famous speech he did, the difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination. I can see so many faces in this room, my personal heroes, the champions, the commissioners, the ring officials, members of the media, the families that have come to Baku to make boxing better and safer through the work that we all put together day after day. To the Board of Governors, my gratitude. To the Executive Committee, and to those who I don't need to mention, because you know in your heart what you do every single day. My sincere gratitude and appreciation, because we all make the WBC what it is. We had a great 2017 so far. We have had many great fights since the first one in January, Madison Square Garden, until the last one in Riga, just Saturday night. Mexico has given the world two special dates. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, September 16th. Those two dates are the most important ones for boxing in the world. All the champions, the TV networks, the promoters, plan the yearly calendar regarding May 5th and September 16th. The WBC developed a special edition, a special trophy to be awarded to the winners of those who fight in that two dates from now on, starting this year. This year we used the Huichol community. We created two beautiful pieces of art that have gotten the attention of the world. We have the Huichol belt for May 5th, for the fight between Chavez and Canelo, and we had the September 16 also Huichol belt for the great fight between Triple G, the WBC middleweight champion, and Canelo Alvarez. As you can see, one side is Mexico, the other side is Kazakhstan, and it was a very special moment to have awarded that belt to Gennady Golovkin. Golovkin is the pride of the WBC. He is an inspiration because he represents the best of boxing. He has never been in a scandal. He has never been in any negative situation which would make him more famous. We live in a world where scandal makes you famous instead of the good people doing the good things. Gennady had waited for 2 years to go to the big stage, which was the September 16th fight against Canelo Alvarez. He came into the ring with the WBC green and gold belt, and he proudly defended his belt in one of the best fights that we have seen in many, many years. That fight made me remember Azuma Nelson against Jeff Fenech, Spinks against Larry Holmes, Konstantin Sioux against Chavez, or Sab Judah, Yuri Arbachakov against Kitty Kasem, the great Italian hero Nino Benvenuti against Monzon, against all the great champions from the past, Eric Morales against Barrera, against Pacquiao, Carlos Zárate against Zamora, and there's so many great moments that these champions have given us in the history of the WBC. Today the WBC is ordering an immediate rematch between Gennady Golovkin and Saul Canelo Alvarez. It is a fight that the world wants to see. It is a fight that both fighters want to have. They have expressed it publicly, and therefore we have taken the decision to order an immediate rematch to give the world a fight we want. The WBC has been supporting the World Boxing Super Series tournament. I'm very happy to see how many promoters are working together to make this a reality. A tournament in honor of Muhammad Ali, a tournament in the super middleweight division and the cruiserweight division, which will have a Muhammad Ali diamond belt presented to the ultimate winner of this great innovative system. We also had one of the great events in recent history. The UFC, which is mixed martial arts, had been threatening the sport, claiming the popularity of boxing was dead. So they came out and they kept threatening Floyd Mayweather. He retired. They kept him making him look like if he was scared. And Floyd accepted to go into the ring and make boxing proud. He stood up toe to toe, didn't make a step back, and he knocked out the big star of the UFC. So my recognition to Floyd Mayweather, who stood up for all of us, to make sure that boxing remains the greatest sport that it is. I say hello to my hero, Floyd Mayweather. We have been working with Pope Francis. He asked the WBC to create a special program which is named Boxing with Values, Fighting for Peace. And Pope Francis has been an inspiration to many of us. His determination to give opportunity to the kids, to the youth of the world, through education, culture, and sports. Many of you have participated, and I invite all of you to reach out and help us and join the WBC to move forward with this program. It is a non-religious program. It is based on the kids, on sports, on education. Gennady Golovkin is a proud ambassador. He defeated Danny Jacobs and earned that beautiful belt, which was presented in New York City. And we're waiting to go to the Vatican so Gennady can present that belt to the Pope. On that same series of thoughts, the WBC, through boxing, understands our social responsibility. Our heroes of the ring are role models to so many kids around the world, to their families. It is through boxing that their life changes. We have prepared a small video regarding the WBC social programs. The Clean Boxing Program is an innovation which has anti-doping tests, unannounced surprise tests to boxers around the world. Every champion and every top 15 contender must register into this program, otherwise he would be out of the ratings and cannot compete in the WBC. We have had over 400 tests in the 2 years. We have had 8 positive adverse findings. and we have no compromise. Safety has to be the top priority. We understand the difficulties for a promoter to have to cancel a fight, to have to postpone a fight, or to have a fighter be suspended for a period of time. But safety has no compromise. I'm very proud of all the fighters and all the promoters who have actively participated in the clean boxing program. Don Luis Escalona has worked many hours to make this a reality, and he will be presenting his report tomorrow during the open session. We go to the mismatch prevention system, which is something that has been on the works for also 2 years. The most dangerous action that we can have in sports is a mismatch in the ring. To have a powerful boxer fight against somebody who has a poor record, somebody who has no opportunity of winning that fight, is dangerous. There have been reported cases of fighters fighting while they're on suspension. So it is our obligation as boxing federations, boxing commissions, commissioners, and members of the boxing community to work diligently with the promoters and the matchmakers to stop mismatches. You go to a boxing match and you see the card, you know who's going to win just by looking at the paper. Boxing judges and referees are honorable persons, but they're human beings. And we have to work to address officiating because it is, and it will always be controversial. I have appointed Dwayne Ford to work with Hubert Mean and the Ring Officials Committee on a special training protocol for the future. We will do several training seminars. We have confirmed Africa with Hussein Koichi in March. We will do South America, and I will ask Chuck Williams to look into putting together the second World Congress of Ring Officials in Las Vegas, as you did several years ago. We have technology in our hands, and boxing is falling behind to all the other sports. If you see football, baseball, hockey, swimming, every single sport you can think of, they're using technology to make justice. We need instant replay. The WBC has used instant replay in many countries of the world, and we need this to be uniform in all the countries because a referee is human and he can miss an action that can change the result of the fight. We need to use technology for the judges as well. We have a pilot program for 2 years to use noise reducing or noise cancelling headphones. That helps the judge to concentrate. That helps the judge to be 100% attend to the actions in the ring, and it takes away any influence from the audience, from the crowd, from someone who is near them. We are, as I say, human, and we cannot help if someone's screaming behind you. You can very easily be influenced. We saw a fight 1 week ago where the judge who is sitting in that side of the ring had my good friend Eddie Hearn behind him. So every round you can see him standing up, clapping, screaming, right behind the judge. So that judge gave the fight to Eddie Hearns, and that is the influence. The other two judges gave the fight to Linares. So I strongly recommend to the WBC and all its federations to try and give it a try to make it happen. Finally, regarding officiating, we have done open scoring after the fourth, after the 8th round. That gives the corners and the fighters an opportunity to know what the judges are scoring. you can adjust your strategy. And that way you cannot say, if I knew I was losing, I would have gone for the knockout. Let's try it. We've done it in many countries with great success, but we need to go and make it happen, not in the big fights, but in all fights. Amateur boxing will be one of our top priorities, as it has been for the last 6 years. We have a situation which we need to understand and to go worldwide. The WBC created the amateur committee only to be a platform to serve boxing in several countries. We are facing open letters in the media from AIBA, open letters in the media from USA Boxing, from the Mexican Amateur Federation, and they're just threats. Anyone who participates in any activity by the WBC Amateur will be expelled of the formal activity. That is not correct. We're not looking for anything but to provide activity for the kids. So we are not going into the ring with AIBA because we already defeated AIBA. The WBC is and has proven that there's no compromise in safety. You cannot have amateur fights without headgear. We saw the results in the Olympics. You cannot have professional fighters fighting in the Olympics. It's impossible to have a professional who has gone 12 rounds, whose heart, whose body, whose mind is much different from a young kid who has only fought 3 rounds. So we will continue our efforts to bring a support to the so many countries that need support in amateur boxing. We created the Superliga in support in Argentina, and that's a model that has to work. I'm going to work with Mr. Rillo from Argentina to have a great success and be able to work together. We have gone to China, we've gone to India and Pakistan with the Super Fight League. We have representatives of all these countries, and India and Pakistan are coming. Female boxing is breaking in the big stages. We have great success. Clarissa Shields is now going to be in Showtime, in big television shows. Cecilia Bracus, our champion, who's going to challenge Clarissa Shields and go to the big stage. Jelena, who has been a world champion for 15 years. And the Diamond tournament we did in the flyweight division. So I'm so proud of all the women that work hard, that work harder than men, and that give the best spectacle. I am extremely proud of our WBC Board of Governors, of our committee members, of the staff, of all those who make it every convention to show the loyalty and to plan for our next year. The overwhelming response, we received thousands of phone calls, messages of inspiration and solidarity, and the WBC, through all of you, through our family, we are doing many activations to be part of the solution for all these countries, all these states. We have created some funds, and we're going to do several events. We're going to do a major boxing event in Mexico, one in Texas, one in Florida, and one in Puerto Rico eventually. I am asking the boxing promoters of the world to join this cause, to help us, to sponsor fights, to be part of this movement, to give to these countries much needed aid.